The warm April afternoon of 2024 draped a soft glow over Willow Creek, a tidy suburb nestled in the rolling hills of eastern Kentucky. At the end of Oak Lane, Jalen Carter's modest home stood defiant, its fresh coat of crimson paint blazing against a sea of beige houses. Jalen, a 45-year-old mechanic who ran Carter's auto repair, dipped his brush into the can, savoring the bold hue. It wasn't just paint, it was a promise to his late wife, Lena, who'd sketched this exact shade on a diner napkin during their first date, calling it a sunrise you could live in. 3 years after her passing, Jalen honored that dream, stroke by stroke. But a shrill voice shattered the quiet. "Lucas Hayes, you're ruining this neighborhood." Karen Walsh, the 50-year-old HOA president of Willow Creek Estates, stormed up his driveway, her leather-bound rulebook clutched like a weapon, blonde bob bouncing with fury. This eyesore violates Section 15.4 on approved colors," she screeched, veins bulging. Behind her, Ellen Monroe, her loyal secretary, nodded smugly, while Amos Tate, the treasurer, shuffled nervously. Jalen set his brush down, calm masking the storm inside. "Karen, half these houses look like a dust storm hit. My red's no crime." Her face purpled. "You'll pay a $7,000 fine or face eviction." Neighbors peeked from curtains, phones glinting, recording a meltdown that would unravel her empire. Karen, a former real estate broker whose career had crumbled in a 2012 condo scandal, ruled Willow Creek with an iron grip, her need for control rooted in her ex-husband's parting jab. "You're nothing without me." Now, her citation dripped venom, non-compliant exterior color, $7,000. 72 hours to repaint. Jalen leaned against his fence, paint tacky. "Eviction from my own house." "Karen, I've owned this place outright since 2007. A flicker of doubt crossed her eyes, but she pressed on, slapping a neon violator sticker on his mailbox with a smack that echoed. "I'll bury you, Hayes," she hissed, loud enough for the street to hear. Ellen smirked, muttering about standards, while Amos mumbled, "Maybe we should talk later." Jalen's grip tightened on the paint can, but he stayed cool, knowing a secret Karen didn't. In 2007, a bank error during the housing crisis bundled the entire HOA's common land every lot in Willow Creek with his purchase for a song. For 17 years, he'd kept quiet to avoid drama, but Karen's threat lit a fuse. "You just started a war you can't win," he said softly, as her posse retreated. The red house glowed in the dusk, a beacon of rebellion, and Jalen knew this wasn't about paint, it was about toppling a tyrant. The next morning, Jalen woke to photos of his house plastered on the community board, captioned "Destroying Willow Creek" in Karen's sharp red marker. Emails flooded in, titled "Urgent," "Threat to Standards," summoning residents to an emergency HOA meeting. By noon, neighbors avoided him at the hardware store, Karen's smear campaign in full swing. At the packed community center, Karen stood at the podium, blazer crisp, gavel gleaming. "Lucas Hayes' defiance threatens our community's value," she declared, projecting his red house on a screen, drawing gasps. "This isn't one rebel, it's a threat to our investments." Ellen's PowerPoint flashed beige-approved palettes, while Amos nodded like a puppet. Karen pointed her laser at Jalen. "Explain why you're sabotaging us." Jalen stood, voice steady. "I painted my house a color that means something to me. That's my right." Karen snapped. "You signed HOA rules. Colors need approval." Clara Tate, a neighbor, spoke up. "What about my fairy lights you banned? Or Nate's kids' swing set?" The room buzzed, grievances spilling. Karen's gavel pounded. "Order. I moved to Lean Hayes' property for unpaid fines." Amos seconded, voice cracking, as the crowd fractured. That evening, Jalen grilled steaks, music blaring just within noise limits, neighbors like Nate Ellis joining. Karen's curtains twitched across the fence. Clara arrived, laptop open. Karen's paying her nephew's landscaping firm triple market rates $70,000 for dead shrubs. Jalen's pulse quickened embezzlement. By dawn, his mailbox bore a laminated photo. His house, shame scrawled in Karen's hand. Ellen loitered nearby, ensuring joggers saw. Jalen filed a transparency complaint under HOA bylaws, hand-delivering it to board members, watching Amos spill coffee in panic. Nate Hayes slipped Jalen a folder, Karen's violations, annotated. She fined my kids for a kite. Karen's retaliation was swift. Jalen's water shut off. A fake inspection notice taped to his door. A shady vent sped off, tools rattling. Jalen fixed the line himself, doubt creeping in. Could he outlast her? Lena's napkin sketch, tucked in his wallet, steadied him. Make it bright. Clara's anonymous email to homeowners, "Where do your HOA fees go?" exposed Karen's payments, sparking fury. Thursday's HOA meeting, meant to crush Jalen, backfired. He stood, folder raised. Explained $25,000 for mulch we never got, Karen. The crowd roared, airing fines for chalk drawings, banned doormats. Karen's gavel failed, her voice shrill. "You're ruining my community." Amos stammered. Prices seemed standard, sweat soaking his shirt. Nate played footage Karen directing teens to paint Jalen's truck pink at 3 a.m. The room exploded, chanting, "Resign." Karen's deep fake excuse flopped as police were called. By evening, Jalen's truck was defaced, loser in pink. Kellen's camera catching gawkers. A tow truck idled, Karen's ploy to seize it, but Nate's blockade and Clara's 911 call stopped it. Neighbors rallied, their fury a shield. Tuesday brought a $15,000 emergency assessment letter slipped under Jalen's door, demanding payment in 48 hours or a lien. His bank account froze. HOA legal action. At the grocery store, his card declined, neighbors whispering. Jalen sank onto his porch, Lena's sketch falling from his wallet. Make it impossible to ignore. Clara's crowdfunding raised $5,000, comments flooding. Karen, find my wheelchair ramp. Red graffiti trademarked his door. A process server delivered a lawsuit, defamation, vandalism, incitement, $600,000 damages. Jalen's resolve wavered, but Clara's text, "You re not alone," and Lena's words pushed him forward. He drafted a response, warning Karen, resign or face his rights as Willow Creek's landowner. The nuclear option was ready. Karen's reply, via Amos, offered $1,200 for Jalen's minor claim, misreading his deed as an easement. Jalen, Nate, and Clara planned a public meeting, posting, "Karen Walsh settles with the Red House Rebel." At the community center, Karen strutted in, lawyer in tow, offering $1,200 to end your claim. Jalen stood, jeans paint splattered, folder in hand. "Let's clarify what you're buying." He revealed the 2007 deed. "The bank bundled Willow Creek's common land with my house. I own the ground under every home." Silence fell, Karen's lawyer blanching. "You're lying," she shrieked, but Jalen held up the deed. Nate recording. "You offered $1,200 for $4 million in land." The crowd erupted, Ellen's rulebook hitting the floor, Amos fleeing. Karen's lawyer bolted, muttering, "Malpractice." Jalen burned the rulebook, declaring, "As landowner, I dissolve the HOA." Rules voided. Neighbors tossed copies into the flames, chanting, "No more Karen." Karen's scream, "I built this," drowned in laughter. "You mistook fear for power," Jalen said, facing her. "Real power is choosing not to use it until you force me." Karen fled, her house soon for sale. Jalen's barbecue saw Nate's home go neon green, Nate's ruby red. A new family in Karen's old house asked about HOA rules. Jalen grinned. "No rules. What color's your dream house?" Their answer, sunset orange, lit his eyes. Willow Creek bloomed, free at last. Was Jalen's land revealed justice or overreach? Should Karen face jail or exile? Can Willow Creek stay free, or will new Karens rise? Share your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for stories that demand your stand.